right, fans, here we go. Now in the cage, 3 rounds of mixed martial arts in the super middleweight division. Introducing our referee in charge of this bout, Mike Beltran. And now, introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, he is wearing black trunks. He is training out of Champions BJJ, West Covina, California. He weighed 183 pounds. Tonight, he is making his debut. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Mauricio Villanueva! His opponent across the cage on my right, fighting out of the red corner. He is wearing white trunks. He is training out of Zombie BJJ in Abilene, Texas, by way of Naples, Florida. He weighed 186 pounds. His record, no wins with 1 loss. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Jacine Olibrice. All right, fans, here we go. 3 rounds of mixed martial arts in the super middleweight division.
All right, here we go. Villanueva against Olibrice. Olibrice all the way from Texas. I don't know if you guys at home caught that. Sounds like a Florida native now residing in Texas. Going to be making his debut here in the Camo organization, I believe. Here we go. We got 3 2-minute rounds.
They are wearing shin guards and immediately dropping down to a double leg. But good overhook and well defended from Olibrice.
Yeah, that was a nice sprawl. Not a bad shot attempt from Villanueva either, but Olibrice was wise to it. Winds up in the close guard here at Villanueva. And with 2-minute rounds, not a lot of time to work on the ground. I mean, you can barely start to find your offense before the round ends. So we're going to see what Villanueva opts to do. He's either going to stay here and try to set up a submission or try to stand up right away. Beautiful hip bump sweep.
Man, you don't see that one every day.
And it was unorthodox the way he did it, too. He kind of came in increments.
Yep.
Finally got his opponent over. Now he's in the full mount. This is not where Olibrice wants to be, especially pinned against the cage like this.
Yeah, and you can see Olibrice just bridging up, trying to do whatever he can because he is in a terrible position. Luckily, only 1 minute left to go. These shorter rounds. Olibrice nearly exposing his arm there to get out, but he does get out kind of in a tricky situation. Has to worry about this triangle. Looks like he's going to be okay.
And you can see Olibrice more or less relying on athleticism and strength to get out of that mount.
Yeah, very, very tricky situation. He really did expose that arm, and he was just taking a big risk. He did not want to be down there. Now has to watch about his arm again as Villanueva throws that leg over for the armbar, but unable to connect it.
He was a nice attempt, though. He looks like he's got very, very loose hip. Got the leg over quickly, but was unable to secure the arm.
Yeah, nicely done.
I'm sure that's going to put Olibrice on notice, though. Just getting that close is too close for comfort.
Yeah, that one looked like he had a very good angle on it. 10 seconds left to go. Looks like Villanueva looking for another armbar attempt, but that's going to be the end of the round.
It's a tough round to score, too, because both fighters had moments. Oh, it looks like Villanueva's cut open. He stood up there and had some blood on his face.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure where that occurred.
It must have happened right at the end when Olibrice was on top.
Maybe some ground and pound. It's even hard to see where it's coming from. It's on his
looks like
temple,
right in the
his forehead,
middle.
his
Yeah,
nose.
right in the middle between the eyes.
Oh, okay, yeah. It must have maybe took a right or left hand to the forehead. Got cut open, but still a pretty good round for both fighters. I mean, Villanueva had that mount, was able to not really able to get off much offense from there, but at least he dominated position for a little while. Olibrice landed some nice ground and pound, so we'll see how the referees score that one. Yeah, that's a nice size gash there. You don't see that often in the amateur ranks.
I think it might have been an elbow while Olibrice was on top.
Well, you're not allowed to throw them. You can't throw elbows to the head in amateur. Even
It just didn't look like he reared back enough to hit him with a punch.
I agree.
To set that open.
could have been an inadvertent headbutt too, maybe.
Could have been while the reversal was happening. Either way, here we go. Looks like they've stopped the bleeding at least momentarily.
I'm sorry, Villanueva looks a little tired to me.
Yeah, curious to know if this is his actual debut or if he's had other fights outside of California.
He's looking to set up a triangle on his right side, but Olibrice is kind of hip to it. Olibrice going to want to be careful not to get his arm dragged, though.
Really good angle from Villanueva. The cage is not doing him any favors right at this moment, but
Not unless he wants to attack the left arm of Olibrice, which
I
he might be looking for. But Olibrice you can see the strength, and he's just leaning forward with all of his weight. It makes it very difficult to get any offense going.
Yeah, Villanueva, I want to think about going for a top lock here on the right arm, the right shoulder of Olibrice. Get both legs over the shoulder at least.
Right.
Start working on that right arm, but some good shots, really good angle from Villanueva. Now, this is where the armbar starts to become very dangerous.
And you're right. That was the right arm I meant by being up against the cage is really his only option.
Yep.
Looking for that flower sweep, almost got it.
Oh, but puts him in a terrible range to get rained down upon with punches, and Olibrice is definitely taking advantage of that space.
Olibrice seems very comfortable here, even though he's came close to being arm locked and swept. He seems pretty calm inside the guard of Villanueva.
Villanueva still looking for this right arm bar. Olibrice
another big
posturing
right hand.
up and just dropping bombs now.
Referee taking a close look, too. He's not going to let too many of those go. He's looking for that hip bump sweep again. Again, very unorthodox the way he hits it. He almost got it that time.
Yeah, should have looked for the back, but I think, to your point, he's a little bit tired.
Looking for that Kimura now on the left arm of Olibrice, but Olibrice still fresh as a daisy, it looks like. Barely even sweating. And just overwhelming Villanueva inside the guard for that round.
Yeah, and we'll see how this one plays out going into round number 3.
Olibrice barely breathing heavy at all. Really impressed with his conditioning.
Yeah, he's the only one, at least according to our scorecards or to our stats that we have for California, is the only one with any kind of experience in MMA. Now, if they've had other fights outside of California, that's difficult to say, but Olibrice is, I mean, especially with that adrenaline dump that hits you, anytime you do any type of combat sports competition, let alone MMA where you're getting punched in the face, very impressive to see him looking pretty fresh.
I wonder if he has a military background or something about him that gives me military vibes. This the conditioning that he's in and the hairstyle and his tenacity. I wonder if if he's got some kind of military background.
Yeah, a little bit the demeanor too.
Right?
Yep.
Villanueva breathing very heavily here.
Yeah, just such a contrast between the two.
And Olibrice is certainly perspiring now. But again, he's the one pressuring. Villanueva just very flat-footed.
You can see that mouth wide open, taking some deep breaths.
Yeah, telegraphing strikes now. He's probably going to end up on bottom again. Oh, it's a
good
big
right hand.
Takes a desperation shot. Olibrice not having it.
Yeah, Villanueva just sitting back to guard.
If I'm Olibrice, I'm pressuring, trying to pass the guard, but he's going to let him back up. Maybe he wants the KO.
Yeah, and I'm sure that if Olibrice is thinking about this strategically too, the only place where he's ever really in any kind of danger so far is on the ground from the guard of Villanueva.
Olibrice is not making any attempts to pass. Is the only thing I would criticize if I were in his corner. He keeps winding up easily inside the close guard of Villanueva, and I don't think he...
Oh, and here comes that armbar attempt.
Good call by you, too. You're right. This is the only place he's been in danger. He needs to try to pass here. Maybe get to the half.
This makes me think that maybe Olibrice is mainly a pure striker and has just fit in a little bit of grappling heading into this because he does not seem to want any part of that ground game.
He's going to look for a home run shot here. Villanueva's just exhausted.
Yeah,
took a long time to get up.
Olibrice has a good jab and a good right hand, too. So, oh, man. Definitely two things that Villanueva has to worry about. But good shot on the single leg. He gets in pretty deep on the leg.
He doesn't have the energy to finish it.
Yeah, Olibrice not making the best defense out of it. He's not making overhooks or anything.
Or sprawling, he may. There we go. Nice whizzer to stand back up.
Yeah, and some of that's just athleticism, too. It's just Villanueva has nothing left in the tank, and Olibrice is fairly fresh, so that plays a huge factor, especially here in this third round. 10 seconds left to go. Ooh, wild left from Villanueva, and that's going to do it.
Got to imagine it could be 30-27 for Olibrice, but at least 29-28 for Olibrice.
At least.
It's going to be a unanimous decision either way, any way you slice it. But I was impressed with Villanueva's guard. Just needs to work on his conditioning a little bit and his takedowns. If he could have gotten on top for longer, I mean, he had the mount at one point, but he gave up that position in round one, was never able to get it back.
Yeah, difficult. I mean, if this is truly Villanueva's first MMA fight, this is nearly a little bit more how I would expect it to go. And I would say, like, Olibrice is, he's more in that top 10% of MMA fighters, where on their debut they look pretty good right off the bat.
Yeah, and Olibrice, as I Google his name, I see he played football. He's got some impressive stats for being a football player. Here's a picture of him, and I'm right, he does have a military background. So found his, looks like on LinkedIn, he's wearing some military attire.
Good call.
So there we go. Well-rounded individual, football, military, MMA, and looked pretty impressive in his debut here tonight.
Even still, the composure and the not letting the adrenaline dump affect you very much at all, seemingly.
He was very calm the whole time.
Yeah, unless you have prior combat sports experience, that's pretty difficult.
Yeah, I mean, and Villanueva came close on a couple of those armbar attempts. They were nice armbar attempts, pretty high level in my opinion.
Yes.
The way he threw his hips up and his hips over and his legs up, and he just was unable to secure the arm. Though it was like his legs were there, but he never latched onto the arm, and Olibrice just pulled out of it very easily.
Here we go, about to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. We have our decision. All 3 judges' cage side scored the bout 30-27 in favor of our winner by unanimous decision, the red corner, Jacine Olibrice.
That's right, Pipe fans. Jacine Olibrice